So we're looking at relationships this week, especially with Venus and whatnot. But what I wanted to touch on more importantly was or is relationship with self. Okay. So what I mean by that is, like everyone talks about self-love and self-worth and self-value, but I mean, what does that really mean? The question I really want to ask today and to ask you is like, what are you settling for? Like, what are your excuses? Because I had a client the other day, and they're struggling with just like loving themselves, and they ask like, why is it hard for me? Like, why is this hard for me to love myself? And I stopped for a moment, and instead I asked her, why is it easy to love yourself? And she said, well, it's not, because I live with my mom and I should have my own place by now. It's not easy because I'm always busy, and maybe then when work changes, then I could fit something in. And I just don't really have the time. Now, to be fair to her, like, these felt like real answers, like these feel like real struggles. But the reality is that they're actually excuses, and they're excuses that that you tell yourself to justify why you're not prioritizing time for you, energy for you, love for you, right? So essentially, she's telling herself that it's hard. I mean, rather than telling me why it could be easy, she was telling me all of these reasons that, like, why it's hard, right? She was telling herself that, oh, I'll invest into myself when I have the space to, or I'll invest into myself, when I have the time to. And every time she tells herself that she doesn't have the time, she's too busy, that, her life just isn't where it needs to be right now for her to start doing that for herself, she's continuously telling herself that she's not important, right? That's why it's feeling hard. So if on every level, those thoughts and feelings are like they're attaching to you, or you're attaching them to yourself and then bringing you down. So you're constantly, and you will always believe everything that you tell yourself. Okay, so I'm not even just talking on a subconscious level here. It's like that voice, that narrator that is constantly going in your head, you will believe every single thing that it tells you. So even if it's right, and you'll notice that it's like there'll be times when it said something to you and it was wrong, times it said something to you and it's been right. And ironically, you've never stopped and gone, hang on, you weren't right about that. You just take it. You just go, okay, and if you're believing that voice, or I shouldn't say if, you are, every single person does. And it's like when you're believing that voice of every single minute of every single day, then yeah, it is going, it does feel hard, right? But the trick is that you need to start telling yourself that it's easy. Because the more you keep telling yourself that it's hard to love yourself, that you don't have time, that you don't have space, that you just don't have the energy to, or you're just too busy. When you keep telling yourself things that like that, or putting yourself off, that's like, oh, you know what, I don't have time to exercise today, or I don't have time to do meditation today, I don't have time to have breakfast today or lunch. It's like, oh, it's okay, I'll have it later, I'll do it later. That self-talk is continuously just reinforcing and telling yourself that you don't deserve it, that you're not worthy, that you're not enough, and therein lies the issue. So you need to start saying that I love myself. This is easy. It's effortless to love myself because I am me, and I make time, space to invest in me and to love myself wholly and fully. When you say those things, and look at even just recording it, like, just if you can't say it, read it. If you can't read it, then record it and listen to it while you're driving, or while you're on the bus, or public transport, whatever it is. But you need to start saying that stuff to yourself consistently, so you can then sit back and go, oh, you know what, I'm starting to believe myself now. you know, because I'm starting to put time aside for me, and I'm starting to show myself on an energetic level that I matter, that I'm important, that I'm worthy, and that I deserve to be loved. Um, Listen to it, do it as often as possible until you start to believe that you can show up for yourself. Because realistically, like, you already are here for yourself. You're already here for yourself. You just need to believe that you are. And then take those actions, like implement that. A lot of people that I connect with, a lot of my clients, it's like, you know that you need to love yourself, but you don't implement it. It's like you don't know how to put it into action. I'm telling you, it's like, write down what I've said, listen to it, record it, whatever, however is, however way or method that you need to use. So whatever way or method you need to use, do it. Listen to it, do it, and just feel it start to sink in. I do recommend doing it of a morning or late at night, only because your ego is a little bit less active. But if you're really struggling with this, like even just whether it's an hour or just setting aside some time for yourself, then start looking at going, okay, well, I've made this time, this is locked in, and I'm going to do this for myself as often as possible. So then, you're not just doing it of a morning of night, but you're doing it whenever those doubts or those insecurities, or where you're just like, oh, I'm feeling empty and I don't know why. It's like, well, fill back your cup, fill your cup back up. Like, I'm not even speaking English properly right now, but you get what I'm saying. Anyway, many blessings. Have a fantastic day. Love yourself. Like, love yourself. Give yourself a hug. Imagine the color pink raining down on you, and just love yourself. All right. And most importantly, make time. Don't make excuses. Love and light, guys. Bye.